Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and that is a Diet Dr. Pepper. Just went and grabbed one, and I don't think I've ever told you this, but my wife gets mad at me. Those are her Diet Dr. Peppers, and every time I get one, she gets mad at me. I'm a coffee guy. She's not a coffee person at all, and so she's like, "You've got your coffee, stay away from my Diet Dr. Pepper." But you know how it works around here. I tend to break the rules. Now, so I'm going to show you something that I don't know that I've ever shown anybody on my channel. I want to show you how I buy crypto. Like today, I bought Theta this morning. Okay, now, I have a list of about 10 or 12 digital assets that I am buying throughout this dip. Okay, so I bought Theta this morning, but I want to show you what my thinking is. But first, I want to show you what 99.9% of the investing public, the way they think. So this is the way 99.9% of the investing public thinks. So this is Coin Paprika, and I like it because it's got this return rates here. Okay, so 99.9% of the investing public would go and look at the return rates, and they would go over here and they would say, okay, let's see what's gone up the most. And they would see this and they would say, oh, Sandbox, that's gone up more than anything this year. And they would go and buy that. But that is not what the digital asset investor does. What I do is I look at this same type thing, but what I'm saying is I want to see what's done the worst this year, because my list, in my opinion, is a list of digital assets that are going to do extremely well over time. And what happens in the short run is irrelevant to me. And so if they've gone down a lot, it means I'm able to get deals. And so that's what I'm looking for. So look, go down this list now. We see that Terra, of course, it has gone down the most. As we go down the list, what's the first thing I bump into? The first one on my list that I bump into, and I'm not saying some of these others aren't good digital assets. I'm just saying this is the list that I'm working. So there's Theta, and Theta is down 78% on the year. So I went in and bought that this morning. Now, let's go and I'll show you a couple more of the ones that I am looking at. CeeLo. And most of the ones I'm looking at are major infrastructure plays, or there's a big picture. There's a lot of major venture capitalists. They've got a lot of connections to government. That's what I'm kind of looking at. CeeLo's one of those. VeChain is one of those. So these two I'll be scooping up. As I go down even further, let's see what's the next one. Algorand I'll be scooping up. Hedera Hashgraph I have been scooping up, both of those. Cardano, IOTA I'm scooping up. A lot of people like Chainlink. I haven't bought any of that. Stellar I'll be scooping up. XRP, of course, So I think you get the picture. That's how I kind of do it. When I like if I've got some money I want to buy with one morning, this is what I do. This is kind of how I go to see what's down the most. All right, I like this tweet. This is the official cool guy of the Digital Asset Investor channel, Mr. Intuitive. And his tweet, I think, in the world we live in right now, expect the unexpected. And I think he's 1,000% right. So look at this. Crypto Cowboy made a good point. The Fed has been drilling the narrative for a liquidity crisis in the U.S. China bank runs could make this an even more interesting situation in the future. Watch this. Well, let me hit the old refresh button here.
Well, that's a different. So money markets that's a part of the economy which where it has become illiquid because the assets that they were invested in were not able to be turned into cash quickly to fund depositors wanting to take their money back. So we stepped in and had to provide that liquidity for the second time. There are reforms going on there at the SEC which should address that, and they're in the process of being considered and then implemented. So that should help on that front. I was thinking more of the Treasury market, for example. which it became illiquid when at the very beginning when people wanted nothing but cash, nothing but the cash and most cash-like things. Treasury market has been functioning though all through this period when we've.
All right, moving along. This is just one of those random clips from the Ripple drop a couple of weeks ago, where I'm like, this is the one thing I tell people over and over about Ripple. Anytime Ripple and how can you talk about Ripple and XRP all the time? The reason I can talk about it all the time is because for really 6 or 7 years that I've been following this one company and this one digital asset, the people that work at Ripple have said things that I've never heard anybody in any company say about what their plans are. But I've heard I could name at least probably 8 to 10 different things that different people at Ripple have said that I've never heard anybody. Like for instance, we're going to either put a dent in the universe or go away. And we're going to have we're going to create a world reserve digital currency. These are not things that people in normal companies say, because it's not a normal company. And they don't say this either.
We're in the middle of the sort of rebuilding of the financial system, and Ripple is poised to figure out where the interesting things are.
So they're in the middle of rebuilding the world's financial system. No big deal. We know, okay, I wanted to show you this. Of course, this is the video from yesterday where Homeland Security is saying that they went and met with the 4 people that are Satoshi Nakamoto. Well, I found this video. These are the people from Jake Chervinsky and Kristen Smith from the Blockchain Association. That's the same crypto trade industry group that has not done anything to help Ripple at all, but they are extremely concerned about Bitcoin at every turn. So they're speaking at a Homeland Security event. And so my question is, we know that Homeland and the SEC know who Satoshi is. We know Blockchain Association and Kristen Smith and Jake Chervinsky support Bitcoin, but have done nothing to support Ripple versus the SEC. Hey, here they are at a Homeland Security event. Has Homeland briefed them on who Satoshi is? See, I have this theory, folks. Yeah, I don't even I'll call it a theory. Let's call it my Satoshi theory. Okay, Satoshi theory, and that is, all these people know and always have known that there's a core group of all these people that are, whether these Bitcoin proof of work associations, Chamber of Digital Commerce, all these people who've been pounding Bitcoin, Ethereum all this time, I believe they all know and always have known who Satoshi is. I can't prove it, but I believe they have. And that's why I'm asking them, you're sitting there hanging out with Homeland Security. Have they briefed you on who Satoshi is? You realize, folks, that would be the biggest lie in the history of finance if all of these people knew all this time and pretended like Satoshi was this fictional character that they didn't know about. Now, I want you to look at the body language. Just look at the way he so arrogantly, as he does, says this. You can tell just the way Joe Lubin says this that he knows too who Satoshi is.
So Bitcoin, the inventor of Bitcoin created 2 things. One was the application. Satoshi. Yeah, the group. One was the application.
Yeah, he says it like, yeah, you can't BS a BS or the group. We know exactly. He says it like, yeah, don't say that. We know who it is. That's how he says it. Because I think they all know. I think not all. I think the core of these people that keep talking Bitcoin and Ethereum, I think there's a handful, maybe a couple of hundred people who have always known, and because I don't think that their actions would be what they were if they did not know. I don't think these regulators would have given Bitcoin any kind of a designation unless they knew, because they're putting too much on the line. They're putting their reputations on the line. I don't think Michael Saylor would be going to his board and getting them to buy all this Bitcoin when he's got shareholders that he's beholden to, unless he knew, because it keeps him too open. He's too open to all kinds of liability if he didn't know. I don't believe it for a minute. Now, John Deaton wanted to make you all aware, in the light of the upcoming hearing before the House Financial Services Committee, I will soon be issuing a public letter via Twitter addressed to Gary Gensler, Hester Pierce, Senator Allison Heron Lee, and other commissioners. If you have a representative sitting on the Financial Services Committee, please forward my open letter to him or her. This open letter will show SEC enforcement is violating SEC public guidance, as well as 76 years of legal precedent related to the arguments being made in pending case involving XRP. This open letter won't even address the well-documented conflicts violations. So we got to make sure that we really hit all these congressmen with this letter, because we want maximum pressure on these SEC people in front of Congress, because they have earned they need to have maximum pressure. So then we've got this. This guy seems like a really cool guy. He works for Ripple. Look at what this is a really well put together video. His name is his VP of Data, Matt Curcio. Listen to this. I'm not going to play the whole thing.
I think the great thing about Ripple is the
Since it's
vision
got
we
music,
have
I might
is
talk
really
over it a
about
little bit.
changing the future of finance, changing the way that people send value around the world. We talk about it being the third pillar of globalization, and being part of the company that can make that happen is really inspiring for me. My name is Matt Curcio, and I'm the Vice President of Data at Ripple. I think you have to have some level of risk tolerance when you come work at a startup, especially a startup that's trying to change finance. You do have to be ready to face the unknown. You got to be prepared for it, and you got to make sure your team's on the same page. And it's like going to the backcountry. You never know what's around the corner, but that's why you're there.
Look at this guy's lifestyle. He looks like he's having fun. I want to ride one of those motorcycles.
It's a little bit of a
like a
seeker
snow
mentality in some ways.
motorcycle.
It's exciting to go learn new things. It's exciting to be out of your element a little.
I'm not going to play. Well, actually, I'll let you watch him take off. How cool is that? Now, see, that I could do, but the problem is, in a minute he talks about avalanches, and I saw a video of an avalanche yesterday going around on Twitter, and let me tell you what, that creeps me out. So I don't want any part of that. But it looks like he lives in a pretty fun place. All right, then there was this from CoinDesk. Andreessen Horowitz and Variant Fund have co-led an $18 million funding round in decentralized lending services. Oh, red alert, whistleblower alert, crypto lending services. Gary Gensler, they can't do this. Gary Gensler said that is a security. He said it was very clear that crypto lending is a security when he was threatening to sue Coinbase. But remember, all these guys, I think, have cashed out of Coinbase. So Coinbase is fair game now, right? So, but Gary Gensler was very clear that crypto lending, it's very clear that's a security. So, but these guys are investing in that. I can't figure that out. Well, look at this. Crypto Cowboy, or Cowboy Crypto. Jake Chervinsky, Executive VP at the Blockchain Association, is a strategic advisor at Variant, who is currently co-leading an $18 million funding round in decentralized lending services with A16Z. Horowitz Hinman. You see how this works, folks? Digital Dollar Project, as it is vital for the U.S. to set standards and explore a CBDC that upholds democratic values, U.S. Treasury's framework is an encouraging step for U.S. leadership in the global financial landscape, looking forward to further public-private collaboration. That's going to get interesting, folks. So that means Chris Giancarlo is meeting with the Treasury. All right, James Phelan, District Judge Torres sets briefing schedule for sealing dispute in connection with the expert challenges, reminds parties that bargained or confidentiality does not overcome the presumption of access to judicial documents. Then we have this from Ripple. We're excited to partner with Ducati Motor and NFT Pro to launch Web3 initiatives and bring Ducati NFTs to life using the XRP ledger. And then from Crypto Law, SEC versus Ripple is now seen as a potential turning point for crypto. If Ripple wins, it could weaken the SEC's argument that most cryptocurrencies should be registered as securities. Things are about to get interesting, folks. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that Ripple, because of Ripple, SEC versus Ripple, potential turning point for crypto.